Hello all, Nitecore TiniVN, and yes, tiny it is, alright? We'll talk about its features real quick, and then we'll compare it in size to the other light. I think that's one of the key selling points for this light, is size, its price, and actually its user interface as well, alright? Relatively simple box, but very nice. Here's the light itself. Let's dump it all out, see what we have. This is a ready-to-ship light. I made it for a buddy of mine. So, Nitecore manual. Here's my new business card, new warranty card, okay? That's the S, that's the L for Sky Lumen. Here's the LED with the dome on it, and that's the light emitted, the halo on top. And I chose a black background because I kind of just like it simple and I don't know, I just like it kind of a little bit contrasted blue on black and just, you know, a little conservative. I like it like that, okay? Here's the back of the card. Website at the top. Date of birth. This one is born on Friday the 13th of 2018. Has for a 2-year extended warranty. If you don't buy a warranty, I'll just circle no. Build specs. TiniVN Nichea's 219C 5000 Kelvin. All TiniVN are gonna have Nichea's 219C 5000 Kelvin. I thought about putting in different LEDs, but this is just a really nice LED with this light. Has a power boost, engraving, black in color. Puts out 515 lumen at 30 seconds. That's OTF, out the front specs at 30 seconds. I did not measure intensity and throttle, so I left that blank. Name, email address, and phone number. Simple stuff. Alright? So, let's talk about the light. It is very tiny. It was smaller than I thought it would be from all the photos I see online. Let's get rid of that. Alright, so relatively simple light, okay? Micro USB port. It not came with a micro USB port, so wire cord. So you will have to get your own micro USB port. I'm sure you guys have a ton sitting at home. Plug it to your computer to charge, okay? All right, let's talk about user interface. It has this 2 button here. The button in the front, the top here, that's like a mode switching button. Here's the power button with the power logo on it. Here's my engraving. From off, if you press this forward button, it gives it a couple of blinks. I think that's probably a voltage indicator. I'm not exactly sure. Please refer to the manual. Here's the power button, and here is where I think this light is very, the user interface is very intuitive. Most keychain lights will accidentally activate in your pocket on keychains if you accidentally press on the power button, because it's usually a quick, simple click. For this light, you actually press and hold for a good 1 second for it to turn on. Once the light is on, you quickly press the forward mode switching button here to go through the different levels. And I think therefore, very simple. It goes from low, I'm not sure what the output is, but it's very low, and a turbo of 515 lumen on this particular sample. They all put out about 500 lumen. The factory light, let me see here. I think the factory light puts out like 380 lumen, so that's a pretty good boost. 380 to 500, 500 plus lumen. Press and hold to turn off. Actually, you don't even have to press and hold. That's the neat thing. So you press and hold to turn on, but you can just do a quick press for it to turn off. You can press and hold or a quick press, and it turns off. So that's relatively simple UI. Another neat thing is, if you press and hold both buttons, it'll put it in demo mode, all right? And once it's in demo mode, and if you operate the light and just let it sit for 30 seconds, it turns itself off. Unless you change its mode, and it probably just reset itself. But basically, you can have the light on, use it for 30 seconds, and it's just not really worry about it, and it just turns itself off in 30 seconds. That's kind of a neat features that I would use and have that kept on my keychain. If this is a light that's very hard to accidentally activate, but if it did, it just turns itself off in 30 seconds. So I think that's a very neat features. And if you press and hold, turn it off, press and hold both button, it will turn itself back on. It will revert back to the normal constant on. Right now, since it hasn't turned off, it's likely in the normal level now. It was in the demo level before. Okay, so that's that. Very simple light. When I open this baby up, there is a huge battery in here. I think it's like 280 milliamp hours. A very big battery, and it runs. I haven't timed it, but it was a good past 30-minute, 40-minute for me. Okay, turbo ramps down a little bit. I think after 15 minutes turbo ramps down, but it was still very bright and it lasted a good 30-40 minutes on the maximum level. So what else can you ask for in a tiny light like this, right? The price for this thing is $58, and there's only one variation, 219C. So there you go. Now I think it's probably back in the normal level. All right. So $58, not too expensive, not too cheap either, but it's a good light. Okay, it comes in a bunch of different colors here. That's gold, silver. That's an up-close shot of the optics. Excuse my fingers and lots of chemicals working with light, so it looks pretty bad. Just ignore it. Frosted optics, so obviously you're going to get very nice beam. You know, just soft, hot spot. So I like that. That's these chrome lines around. It looks okay, pretty nice. Very cool heat sinking design. Go on my website, look at the internals. I took internal photos, and it's a very cool heat sinking design where there's like a copper slabs that lay against the body here, so it actually heat sinks out to the metal body. Very, very cool design. I haven't seen anyone did that before. So props to Nitecore. I'm not a Nitecore fan, and I thought that was really cool. I'm not a Nitecore fan, not because Nitecore is not good. It's just because Nitecore, they're not really great for me, moddable host. So I don't really choose Nitecore. They're good lights, good brand. Different brand, different color here: gold, silver, black. What is this? Gray, metallic gray, graphite, and it's, I don't know. It's not really pink. Is it? What do you call this? Magenta, I think. I don't know. You guys comment below. All right, so that's the TiniVN. All right, let's compare it in terms of size compares to its competitors. TiniVN. All right, doesn't look all that small, right? Just wait. Here's a ToolVN. And a ToolVN is not that big. This is one of my all-time best-selling keychain light, but it is expensive. I think this thing, the copper version, is like $150. So it's like 3 times the price, almost 3 times the price of this guy right here. But it also has driver VN2, fully programmable, very nice, Willy heatsink, and it's just a really tough light to build. So it's very expensive. But it's an excellent light. It has a forward clicky. So if you don't like these digital switch, that might be a plus right there, just that, okay? But it is a much bigger light, much heavier light compared to this tiny little Nitecore TiniVN. And this thing puts out like 900 lumen or something like that. 700, 900, I'm not sure. The brightest keychain light at the moment, UC15, this thing puts out like 1100 lumen. Factory puts out like 950. My version put out like 1100 lumen. And this thing is bright. It has 2 IMR 10440. And you can have a choice of different center LEDs here, different color LEDs and a UV light here. So we'll talk more about this in a separate review. But let's just show sizes, okay? And talk prices a little bit. The UC15 is $72, so roughly half the price of the ToolVN. And here's a new guy, the Geek. All right, the Geek is a little bit, I wouldn't say is smaller than the UC15, because it's likely thicker, a little tiny bit. All right, but it has relatively cool features. This lamp right here and the forward light. So about 700 lumen, 1000 lumen. This one is about 500 lumen. I'm talking about modded versions here, okay? Not factory numbers. And 500 lumen here. So these two are about the same. This lumen top, though, it seems like a more substantial light. So I don't have a price for it yet, but I'm planning to sell it for very close to retail. Retail's at 60. I think I'm gonna have like the base version with the stock LEDs, just a factory power boost. I think it puts out factory of 300 lumen. The modded version puts out 500 lumen, so that's a substantial boost, okay? 300 to 500. And I'm planning to sell it for like $60. So the basically, you're paying for a stock light money for a fully modded light, all right? So $58, $60, $72, and $150. These two are or what I would consider in terms of price with each other. We'll talk more about it later in the Lumen Top Geek review, okay? Geek VN review. But here you can see the size. And while we have all these four up, which one would I pick if I can only pick one? I would still stick to the TiniVN, not because it's more expensive, just because I like the clicky and I feel like it's just a really nice light. Okay, the UC15VN, oh man, 1,000 lumen, that's hard to beat. But the UI, it's okay, it's not bad, but it's a little bit more complicated because there's 3 different LEDs to operate. The Geek, not bad either, but I would say the TiniVN and the Mini VN, I like this one, the TiniVN, because it's easy to use, and I would pick that. Okay, if you know budget was a problem, I'll pick this over these 3. Of course, if money wasn't a problem, I'll pick this. All right, these 2, they have their own audience. For those power crazy people that wants the max, that's that. Okay, that's the best on the market right now. Okay, so that is that. Leave your questions in the comments below, and then I'll see what I can answer. All right, that'll be all. Thank you, guys.